We're on.
We're
Hello,
good.
hello.
We're live, Lanes.
How's it going, everyone? This is my husband, Jordan.
Hey,
he
guys.
was behind the camera that whole time that you were watching me, and he's just as much part of this Supercharged Smoothie Challenge as any of us are. So welcome, Jordan.
Thank you. Welcome, you guys.
I am going to send the link around to you so that you know where to find us. Jordan, do you want to say hello
You
to
got the
them?
link? Ready? Okay.
I'm about to.
All right. Well, we hope you're having a wonderful Christmas season. We, as you guys know, are just finishing up the Supercharged Smoothie Challenge for December. And we wanted to start this live, giving you a bit of a rundown of what we're going to cover. We're going to look at a little bit about what we do at the Whole Food Collective. We're going to cover off on the ebook a little bit. We're going to give you guys a bit of a savings code if you want to shop some goodies with us. We'll cover off on a whole bunch of tips for supercharged smoothies.
Yes.
And how to really get the absolute most out of your smoothie making. Then we have some question and answers. We have a few that have sent through. We've got a couple from previous challenges, which have been really helpful, we've been told, so we'll cover those as well. If you have any that you wanted to pop in the comments, please do so, and we will cover them off to the best that we know how. We are live right now at the Whole Food Collective warehouse, and we'll talk a little bit about the Whole Food Collective in a second. But we just firstly wanted to say that we know a lot of you are doing this challenge or have done this challenge in order to improve your intake of food. We know that health is super important for a whole bunch of reasons. A lifestyle, longevity, a whole bunch of things. So we've been passionate about whole foods and real food for a long time, and we love the fact that we can help others to increase their nutritional intake through, as we've learned, supercharging your smoothies.
I think Jordan's probably more passionate about whole, real food than I am. More strict with the kids, more. So yeah, he's a great person to have on this live with us today.
I love the fact that we have been given, or we have access to, food that will 100% serve our bodies, will give us mental clarity, will strengthen our physiques, will help us to keep every system in this giant ecosystem of body all working properly, so that we can optimize our vision, our intake, everything that we do. How we feel, how we act, how we talk, how we respond. All these things are governed by our internal composition. And so, you know, we just wanted to acknowledge you guys that you've taken some really good steps, but also to help share the fact that, you know, we've been taking small steps for many, many, many years, and we have tried massive leaps which have fallen on their face. We have fallen on our face trying to take those massive leaps, and we just want to acknowledge that the small steps you guys have taken in this challenge are actually quite significant, and you should be proud of yourself, because little tweaks, little changes, little additions, little removals to your diet, all along the timeline of life add up to be massive, monumental changes. And we want to acknowledge you guys, and we know for ourselves that it's helped us a lot by improving what we put into our bodies. And, you know, kudos to you guys. We hope that you've gained a lot. We really do hope that you're going to implement what you've gained. But small steps, you know, it might be a bit overwhelming. You might want to take bite-sized additions to this education and slowly add them to your lifestyle. But yeah, first off, acknowledge you guys. Well done. You've done some great things, and we hope you're going to continue doing great things slowly and steadily to eventuate into massive changes and improvements for your health.
I don't think that I could have actually, I don't know if survived is the right word, but if I wasn't relying on the principles of whole real food over the last 7 years that have actually been really intense for our family and myself, I'm not so sure that I would have coped as well as I did. In fact, I know that I wouldn't have coped as well as I did. It's, you know, food that nourishes the body also nourishes the mind, and it's been it's been a huge part of our life to sort of get through. The last few years has been pretty intense. So there you go.
Yeah. So thank you. Hats off to you guys again. Double thumbs up. All those cool things. And, you know, we hope you get a little bit out of this live as well. And we hope you continually move forward in your journey, small steps at a time, to remove all of the potential rubbish that's been put in there through food marketing, through corporation talking, through all the stuff that we believed was the best for us, but we're now realizing it's not the best for us. So we'd flush it all out, get all the goodness in, not having to be perfect, but, you know, if you're not 85, 90% of a whole food diet, you know, you can splurge a little bit here and there, but you're going to be giving your body what it needs to thrive. Body and mind.
I'm just going to close the door because the big truck's arrived and it's going to be a bit noisy.
We got delivery. Apologies. We are at the warehouse. I've been in the kitchen bagging down some products.
You've still got your apron on.
Got my apron on still. I forgot about that, but it's all good. So for those of you who don't know, the Whole Food Collective, we are, how many people? 12 people strong? There's a small bunch of us who work the back end to bring the Whole Food Collective to you guys and to everyone else. The Whole Food Collective consists of two divisions, basically. One is the education, which you guys have participated in with these challenges. And secondly, we have an online store, a buying community. And it's a membership-based community where people pay a small amount each year to access these incredibly beneficial foods. A little bit more vetted, not a little bit, sorry, an incredibly strong vetting process compared to everything else that you can shop elsewhere.
We have this external expert panel. Probably need a new name for that. But the expert panel consists of some global leaders in their field of toxins, of additives, nutrition. We've got a naturopath on there. We've got a very robust group of people who are very fastidious and very detail oriented. So we go back to suppliers not uncommonly 6 to 8 times to clarify, more than that even, to clarify the processing methods of one ingredient within a product. And we look at processing aids that don't legally need to be declared on labels and all sorts of things. So we really pride ourselves on doing that, as well as stripping away any barriers that people have to eating better, because we would just love to see the whole country thriving with healthy bodies, healthy minds. And we know that nutrition is a massive piece of that puzzle. And so we try to strip away any barriers. So that could be the confusion around labels, which we've just spoken about. So anything that you find at the Whole Food Collective, has been vetted. 2, price point has that's sometimes a sticking point for people. So we do as best as we can with that price point for you guys so you can save. We've also stripped away plastic wherever we can. So all of the hundreds of products that are labeled as the Whole Food Collective brand are all in home compostable packaging. So, and it's home delivered. So we really just try to tick all the boxes so that people can not feel that it's a hard thing to eat well and to feel great. So that's what we try to do at the Whole Food Collective. Yeah,
and do it sustainably, eco-friendly, and the most affordable possible. So I just had a really good thing to say, and it's just lost my mind. No, actually, one of the key things about what makes the Whole Food Collective unique is we work out of this warehouse here. So we have quite a significant kitchen over there, and so we get ingredients, and we mix up a lot of blends and a lot of products of our own private label that get out to you guys really quickly. And one of the key things about why we can offer these products, one, more better for you because they're fresher, more nutritionally diverse and robust, and secondly, a little bit more cost effective than elsewhere, is because we don't have to build in multiple levels of margin for different parts of the supply chain. So, and that's another reason why we don't have to put additives or things to increase that shelf life into the whole food products, is because we're not selling as a producer, we're not selling to a wholesaler, to a distributor who then has to sell to a retailer. We have our direct community, which we go directly to. So it reduces food miles, it reduces shelf life requirements.
Simplify the food chain.
Yeah, simplify food chain. So that's another key thing about the Whole Food Collective that not many people understand. So that's a little bit about the Whole Food Collective. We want you guys to come and be a part of the community, shop with us, be a part of the education groups that continually move forward, and everyone's sharing and helping and supporting each other. So obviously we would love you to join us. Up to you if you do. but we're looking forward to seeing you if you want to be part of the Whole Food Collective moving forward.
And you'll find a pretty decent savings code in the ebook that we're going to give you today. So you'll be able to save 20% on the blends, on the Supercharged smoothie blends. And well, basically, I should clarify, it's an extra 10% off the prices that you'll find on the website. So you can shop without joining us in a membership or a free 14-day trial. You can just shop as a regular shopper and get 10% off retail. Or you can join on a 14-day free trial and be able to get everything at an extra 10% off already amazing member prices. So you'll get 20% off blends, around on average about 40% below retail on all the ingredients that we spoke about. And the equipment is great too, the tumblers, the straws and everything. So it's a lot of fun for us to pass on this at the end of such a fun challenge to you guys. And so lots of people love to jump on and just take advantage of it while it's there. So that'll be available until midnight Tuesday. So you can jump on that if you like.
Yeah, over the weekend. So that's basically what the Whole Food Collective is about. You know, we really love what we're doing, and we've got some pretty bold moves or steps in plan shortly. You'll see in the new year about the direction of the business and the model that we're running.
Even more.
Yeah. So you guys will know that we're fully legit about what we say, and we want to bring everyone in and help them to do the best they can with their food for them and their families. So
exciting.
That's the cap of the Whole Food Collective. So moving on.
Tips, I think, is where we're at.
You spoke about the ebook.
Oh, yeah. So the ebook's coming this afternoon. You'll get the email at 2 o'clock our time. So that's in 1 hour and 45 minutes. It'll come through to your inbox.
Yep.
And it's very robust. It's very, it covers a lot of what we've spoken about in the challenge. So you should find it a really good resource. So check it out. Save it to your computer or wherever it is you save your ebooks, and you can refer back to it again and again. We put a lot of work into that for you. So I hope you love it.
So I'm not too sure this time whether you gave a lot of the additional smoothie recipes out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So there's a whole bunch of optional variations of the 5 smoothies that you learnt during this challenge. So you'll be able to have a look in the ebook. Some are more than others, but we've had a whole bunch of whole food awesome experts go through and create variations so that you can use the blends in different flavored smoothies.
Bases,
so that you've got, there's probably about 20 different smoothie flavors, combinations. So yeah.
The
really
wonderful
cool.
naturopath, Georgia Harding, you might know her. Her website's wellnourished.com.au, I think. And she developed a whole bunch of base recipes for us. And there's a whole bunch of non-smoothie recipes in there too that you can use your bases in. There's a Cocoa Pops recipe in there that is so good.
It's really good.
Our kids love it. Love it.
Yeah, so obviously the motivation behind that is to use these incredibly nutrition-dense blends in as many different meals as possible so that you can just get that constant nourishment from really, really good food.
Good to hear, Tracy. I hope it'll be a good support for you.
Yeah, sorry, jump on and say hello. We didn't ask for people to reach out. And we're sorry. Introduce yourselves. Let us know who you are, what you love doing, what food you're into.
We'd love to hear from you.
We would. But
so I reckon we should jump straight into the tips, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we can do it says the list here. If we're following the list.
Following the list.
It says savings code. But we can do that at the end.
I think we've done that. Oh, the savings code.
We haven't told them what the code is.
Oh, okay. So the savings code will come through to you on email as well, but it is SS extra 10%. And that will cover all of the smoothie categories. We've got a smoothie blend category, smoothie ingredients category, but we'll email all that to you so it's in one place for you.
And I just put it in the comments for those who can't wait.
Cool. All right, so we're going to go through the
Leith
tips.
says hello.
Hey, Leith. Or Angela, maybe. Maybe it's Leith.
Oh, Leith and Angela. Oh, that's 2 people.
Yes.
Leith is the husband. Hey, Angela. Presuming it's Angela online, not Leith.
You never know.
Hello to the Jeffreys.
Our daughter, Kaya, she's 14. She just crawled behind us. If you see someone crawling around, it's because she doesn't want to be on camera. All right, so we're going to jump into the tips, and then we're going to draw the prize, the biggest prize that we've done in the challenge yet, and it's a pretty whopping amazing prize. Should we tell them what it is? Oh, Jordan,
you can tell them.
Jordan can't talk because he's munching on it with. He has these roasted maple Christmas nuts that we've done for Christmas, and he is pretty obsessed with these.
They're insanely good.
It's safe to say, he's spitting it everywhere as we talk. But yeah, so I'll talk.
That's so good. Pecans, maples, macadamias, cashews, almonds. So good.
I forget what I was saying. Let's just jump straight into the tips. All right, so guys, there are lots and lots and lots of people out there. We launched these blends only really 6 months ago, maybe, something like that. We've been working on them for some time before that. And we get so many people email in saying how much they love the smoothies and how much their kids are on board. And it's just been such a revolution for their morning breakfast or
For
their
lots
lunch
and
or
lots of
dessert
people,
or whatever it is that they're doing it for. And it's just very heartwarming to see. Occasionally you get an email coming through that says, hey, my kids weren't really into it. Do you have any tips to help them, you know, come along onto the smoothie bandwagon? And yes, we do. So some of these tips people have said have just been very significant in their children accepting them, or even their partner or themselves even accepting a different type of smoothie. So if your children or loved one is not particularly accustomed to the taste of whole foods like nuts and seeds and things, then it might be a bit of a different taste to their regular smoothie that's just plain fruit, you know. And
sorry.
and so there are some things we can do to gradually help them accept a new taste and even love this new taste over time. So the first one is
hang on, before we get into it, let's start by just covering the science behind it. So obviously with any new food you introduce, it's going to be a shock to the system if it's a new food. A shock in meaning that there's going to be a response. So often when you transition from standard foods that are high sugar content, high salt content, high artificial flavoring content, your taste buds are used to being stimulated. So that hyperstimulation becomes the plateau or the norm. And so when you then introduce foods that don't have those additives in there, often it's perceived as bland, tasteless, because the contrast is so large. So it's very important to understand our taste buds take about 30 to 40 days roughly to recycle. To old ones die, new ones grow, just like all the cells in our body. So introducing something a little bit at a time is one of the key principles here, but also that consistency so that your body will be able to adjust in a sustainable way. Because obviously if you try and chuck all of your other foods out, if you're transitioning, some might already be fully into whole foods, but if you're transitioning, then and you try and do a whole massive leap, then you're going to have crazy
retaliation.
You'll have a mutiny at home from kids, husband, wife, whatever. Not
the way that we'd recommend doing things.
No.
Slow and steady.
Some people handle it, very few. Most people need that slow, steady progression.
Yeah. So, thanks, Terry. Yeah, Tracy. It's funny.
Yeah, all right, can't blame me. Have you had them, Tracy? They're awesome.
He took them on a road trip down to New South Wales. This week he took our eldest Kaya for a birthday on a surf trip for a week in their van. And he took a whole bunch of those candied maple nut blends down and gave them to all his friends. And it was quite the hit. All right, so the first tip is to up the sweetener for a little bit. Now, I know that we've covered this in the challenge, but I'm just going to touch on it again because this is the first strategy that it's kind of like the no-brainer because everyone typically loves a sweet smoothie. And so obviously we don't want to be having super sweet smoothies forever, but if we are increasing the sweetener in a smoothie from a whole real food source that we've spoken about, that's low GI and it comes with bonus vitamins and minerals and antioxidants like the date paste we've spoken about, then in my books, it's a totally okay way to reel someone into this type of smoothie. And so once they love it, a super sweet version of this supercharged smoothie, then you can start reducing that sweetener over time gradually to the point where you're comfortable with that level of sweetener. And I promise it's a very effective way of bringing someone along to that smoothie ride. And I actually, next week I'm making fig paste instead of date paste. So it's similar, right? So you get dried figs instead of dried dates. They're lower in fructose than dates are, and they're higher in fiber because you've still got all the seeds in there as well. And it's still nice and sweet. So that's next on my list to try. So fig paste, you could always try that too. So the next tip, number 2, is to start small on the blend if you want or if you need. So if you have 2 heaped scoops of the blend, it comes with a little scoop. If you do 2 heaped scoops, that's 53 grams of a blend into your smoothie using the bases that we've recommended. That is a nutritionally balanced, complete meal as is. And that's just beautiful that you can have that peace of mind and know that. But if you're wanting to bring someone along and just gradually get them accepting it, then the last thing you want to do is give them something. Well, it's not really, an overdose for their taste buds maybe. And then they're just going to say, no, not interested, and just walk away and never try again. So we don't want that. So if you want to, start with a half scoop or even a quarter scoop. There was one, we told this story last time. There was this mother that reached out saying that she had a son pretty high up on the spectrum, and he was very sensitive to textures and to tastes and to new foods. And so she literally started by sprinkling just the smallest amount of blend into his smoothie and increased that over time very slowly. And he accepted them really well too. But he was a perfect example of someone who would have just thrown his hands up and said, no way, had she not taken the wise approach of bringing him in slowly. So you can do that. So they're so packed full of nutrients that you're still going to benefit your body so much by even just not doing a whole serve. You can still benefit so much. So Jordan's touched on this one already. So starting small on the blend is effective for quite a few reasons. And number 1 is what Jordan said before, was that our taste buds literally renew themselves so regularly. And so by doing it slowly, your taste buds are actually getting accustomed to that new taste, right?
So I need some coconut water.
And so your taste buds are going to become accustomed to that taste. And as they renew, it's not a new food for them anymore. And so that person will become less sensitive to any different tastes and textures. Also, going slow and small breeds familiarity. Please don't make fun of the way I say that word.
Say it again.
Familiarity. I did it better that time, right?
Yeah. First time.
So our palates absolutely change with the frequent exposure, right, of a new food. And there are different ways that we can become more familiar with new foods. If you think about our 5 senses, can you list them off for me? I always forget one.
Here you go.
You're worried about the same
Start
thing.
with taste.
So your 5 senses, you've got taste, you've got sight, you've got smell, you can touch it, and you can hear it, right? Thank you. So you can use all 5 senses with your kids or whoever with these smoothies. And so any exposure to any of those 5 senses counts towards an exposure. And so the more exposures you have to a different food breeds that familiarity and then acceptance and love of that food. So you can have them smell the smoothie that you're drinking. If you've got a child who's sensitive, doesn't want the smoothie, is a bit resistant, just start with them smelling your smoothie or smell it as it's blending. Say, hey, my smoothie's blending. It smells amazing. Come and have a smell. And they'll smell the raspberries and the banana or whatever it is. So they put the foods in that they already like and have them smell it that way. You can have them touch it. You can have them pass the ingredients to you to put in there. Can you pass me the banana, or can you grab the raspberries from the freezer, or whatever it is. Have them pass things to you. Or when you're shopping and you find some spinach or kale, something that you're going to put in that smoothie, have them reach over and grab it and put it in the basket. And they become more familiar, and it will help them accept these foods. You can have them listen to the blender. You can have them listen to you pouring out the smoothie into the cup. It sounds ridiculous, but it really does help. So then you've got obviously seeing it. You can point out the different colors it makes. You can, have them make it for you to say, can you make me a smoothie? This is what goes in it, whatever. But you can also start small on their serving sizes as well. So you can grab a little shot glass or, a little small cup and just fill it up real small and give it to them as a cute little introduction to the way that they except smoothies. Do you want to talk about toppers?
Okay, so this is a big one because it's a great way that, one, you can make your smoothie look prettier. So if it's more aesthetically pleasing, it's more than likely going to be more desirable, more desired by the young people or the
non-smoothie lovers.
Yeah, those who are yet to be fully on board. So toppers is literally putting anything awesome on top of the smoothie. Now, obviously, we recommend whole food things and not just hundreds and thousands and all that sort of stuff.
I did use choc chips more than once, but they were good choc chips, good quality choc chips, and they worked a treat.
Choc chips, yes, non-dairy, all that sort of cool stuff in it. Anyway,
low sugar.
Yeah. So toppers. So we, as you see in some of the photos, you top your smoothies with anything from choc chips to chopped pieces of fruit, frozen raspberries, frozen blueberries.
Frozen raspberries, our kids love that.
Yeah, that's the easiest one because obviously you can just chuck it on. It's from the freezer. It's nice to eat. So one of the cool things about toppers is if you're going to put a small amount of smoothie in with a bit of topper, get them to scoop up the toppers with a spoon, and then what will happen is they'll be pulling up bits of smoothie as well. So it's not just the topper they're eating, and that will be that'll count as a introduction, or they're eating some of it. So they'll slowly get more familiar with it. So yeah, toppers, we always use toppers at the beginning. Now we don't need them, but you can if you want to pretty up your smoothie anyway. But they're a great way to get people into smoothies.
Our kids the other day randomly asked for a smoothie bowl, like an acai bowl type thing. So we did that and they loved it.
Yeah.
They loved
Lots of toppers. Lots of fresh fruit. Fresh fruit is obviously my favorite for a topper. It's my favorite dessert anyway, but yeah, great for topping smoothies.
Yeah. So you can also play games. If you've got a young child, like we have a 4-year-old daughter, 4.5-year-old daughter, and she just loves to play like a cat. And so she'll sit there lapping up her smoothie from a bowl like a cat, whatever it takes. If that's how she wants to drink a smoothie, a new type of smoothie, then that's great. So our kids love the gut-loving smoothie best, the strawberries and cream base with a gut-loving blend, which blows our minds. It still blows my mind today that that's their favorite. My favorite is the chocolate all-rounder. But if I want to give them the green detox or the immunity, then or just any change to what they're used to, then I'll just sort of start introducing some of this fun stuff again, and it helps. It helps along. So texture. So some people find that if their blender's not very strong, some of those nuts and seeds may not blend up to be incredibly creamily smooth. And so you can consider upgrading your blender. If you're serious about smoothies, then that's definitely something you can do. Our jug broke the other day, so I'm using my old sort of $20 one from Kmart at the moment. Working fine. Not as great though. I'm finding I have to add more liquid to make it go around, so having a good blender does help, but it's not necessary. So you can consider upgrading your smoothie, or you can try blending for longer, or you can even soak the blend before you use it to soften it up. Some people like to do this anyway to activate their smoothie, just to help that process along, to make it more digestible if they're sensitive to nuts and seeds and things. We spoke a bit about that during the challenge, I think. And so you can try doing those things. Or, as Carly's son loves, so Carly's son's not really on the smoothie bandwagon, but what he will do is have that chocolate mousse all-rounder smoothie. So she will literally make it into a mousse. She'll make it up, put it in the fridge, and have it as a mousse. And a lot of people add extra date paste and they have it literally as a dessert. And it's accepted really well that way. Some kids love crunch. So some people like it really smooth and some people like some crunch, and that's like me. I love to have a bit of crunch in there. So you can sprinkle in some cacao nibs or some extra chopped nuts or whatever it is that will help to add that crunch, and you can spoon it through. It also helps to start that cephalic stage of that digestion. So we know that by chewing is one of the ways that our stomach produces those digestive enzymes. And so if we're chewing our smoothie, it's actually going to help us have better digestion, bloat less, all those lovely things. So you can consider adding some crunch in there.
All right, let's go through them a bit fast. We're labouring, I think, some of these. What else? Make ice cream. Obviously, the smoothie, the mousse, the choc mousse is great to freeze. Any of them are great. So you'll buy a it's not latex. What is that? Silicon, sorry. Silicon molds.
Oh, I didn't show you guys that. That's something
one.
something I love to do in the challenges is show you what I do with leftover smoothies. So these smoothies are gold, right? There's so much nutrition in there that you don't want to waste them. And so if someone's, if you've made too much or they're not as hungry that particular morning and so you've got some left over, instead of throwing it away or putting it in the fridge and it sits there undrunk and then goes gross, you can just pour the leftovers into these ice cream molds and put them in the freezer. Some kids will, that's the only way that they'll have smoothies is as an ice block. So you can have it on those hot summer days when they come back from school or for dessert. And so it's a really effective, fun way to get them having smoothies. And these are actually included in your savings code as well. So have a look at them if you want. Get creative with non-smoothies. So we spoke about that in the ebook. You're going to find some recipes for Cocoa Pops. You're going to find some recipes for a chocolate porridge. Actually, we made a Ferrero Rocher porridge the other day when you were away. It was so good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was so good.
Did you put hazelnuts in it?
Yeah, we put hazelnut meal and date paste and the chocolate blend and porridge and vanilla. Oh, so good.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's really it for the tips. The last thing that I would love to mention, though, is milkshakes. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So if your child likes, or anyone likes to have, or I guess doesn't love the thickness of smoothies, but they love a good traditional sort of thinner milkshake, what you can do is this. This is what I've been doing at home, and I'm actually wanting to make it a blend so it's easy for you guys to just order it if you'd prefer to do it that way. But you can just get the chocolate all-rounder blend, whiz it up in I have a mill attachment to my food processor. It's just a small one. I just put a couple of scoops in there and it mills it into a fine powder. And I add some sweet potato flour and a little bit of extra coconut sugar because it's like a Miley replacement, right? Like it's like a treat drink. And so I just do that and then I mix it in with with the milk. We use almond milk, but to bring that creaminess to it that cow's milk has that our kids sometimes miss, we put a bit of MCT oil in and then they don't really know the difference because it brings that fat content into makes it taste like cow's milk. A bit of a tip there.
So MCT oil is coconut oil that's been...
mind blank, but it has medium chain triglycerides in it. Very good for brain health, and it's considered to be the best type of coconut oil there is. There's limited studies on it, but the studies that we do have show that it's very beneficial. So there's lots of debate out there around all types of different oils, but MCT oil seems to be excluded from the debate. It seems to be pretty accepted that it's a really great oil to have in it, like less than 2 tablespoons a day. So
milkshakes was the last one. Okay, so what we love to do when we have these lives, we love to give away some things.
Oh, sorry, we missed some. Should we just quickly? We'll just
Let's
just share a couple more tips real quick, guys. Okay. So if you have a failed smoothie, we
never have failed smoothies.
Never. We've gone through heaps of failed smoothies in the development of these blends. I'm surprised our kids still love smoothies because we went through ridiculous amounts of gross smoothies.
Well, maybe that's why they like them, is because they've had so many failed ones.
That's
so
true.
Like, now they're really good.
Now they're good. So if you've got a failed smoothie, what you can do is this. One, add more sweetener. That's just the go-to that if you don't mind a bit of extra sweetener short term, then that's great. Add sweetener. Add ice to make it nice and cold. That really does make a difference. But if you have added too much green banana resistant starch, there ain't no coming back from that. Just accept it and move on. Chalk it up to a fail or a learning and move on. So you can only add 1 scoop of green banana resistant starch per adult serve of smoothie. Please don't try to do more than that. Okay, so you know what? I think that's it. We covered everything else except for the gut-loving one. So the gut-loving smoothie has probiotics in there. It's a living food blend. So if you have a child in your family that hasn't been used to any probiotic before, isn't having, living foods as part of their diet on the regular, then you might consider starting small and working up over the course of a week or 2 to that full serve, because it might just be a more gentle approach to them to have that introduction of that new food to their system. But it's a beautiful blend of organic, real whole foods that have been fermented and, beautiful.
All right, so Q&A.
Q&A. So, guys, if you have any questions, we only have 2 questions. It's like the least we've ever had before. Sometimes we've got pages and pages and pages of questions that we can't get through in the time that we've got. So, we only have 2 today. If you have a question that you forgot to send in or whatever, pop it in the comments now, and we'll be able to get to that for you.
But also, before we start the Q&A, because remember last time we were doing it, didn't we? So we love to give away a full suite of the 5 Supercharged Smoothie whole food blends.
Yes.
To a lucky participant.
And guys, sorry to interrupt. Because the size of this group was so small compared to normal, we had a bit of Facebook ad hiccups. But because we've had such a small group this time, and there's only 9 of you on here live, like I know that there are people who can't always make it live and they catch the replay and all, but you guys are sitting pretty well here.
It's more than a 10% chance of winning.
You've got a very good chance of winning this prize. So do you want to tell them?
Yeah, so we give it away to those who are live, just as a bit of a thank you for making the time to come and join us live. So what we do is we give away, did we show any? You've probably seen the jars of premix. But anyway, there's 5 in the suite. And we have a gluten-free suite as well. Yeah. So if you are gluten-free, the winner, then just let us know and we'll just send you the gluten-free suite. Right, so we have a suite of 5 Supercharged Smoothie blends and we give them away to a lucky winner. Now, how we choose a winner is where we ask you to post. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining us. We ask you to post.
Tracy has a daughter who copies the dog like Rosie copies the cat.
Nice one. Nice one.
That trick will work well for you with your daughter.
Yeah. So we ask you guys to write in the comments the number 1 takeaway you got from this challenge. So it gives us a bit of a buzz to hear what's going on. Also allows you to think about what is the best thing and to articulate it. So we want you to write in the comments if you want to participate in this giveaway. You don't have to, but if you do, write in the comments what is the number 1 takeaway that you got from the Supercharged Smoothie Challenge. And then after your comment, we need you to put a number between, there's only 9 of them, 1 and 50.
Oh, that's
still quite large.
Still quite large.
1 and 20?
Yeah, we'll do 20.
Okay. Pop a number between 1 and 20. Are you going to write it down now so we can before someone starts writing?
Before I see who's written it down.
Okay. So Lainey's written a number down and she's going to fold it up and we're going to expose that once we've finished the competition. But right, so please, if you want to participate in this, write in the comments your number 1 takeaway from the Supercharged Smoothie Challenge. It can be anything at all. And then at the end of your comment, write a number between 1 and 20. And whoever gets the right number, we shall announce the winner. So while you're doing that, we are going to cover off on these 2 questions. And maybe there's 1 or 2 from other challenges.
I didn't bring any across from other challenges.
Right. So. Well, you got a lot from these 2 questions. Holy moly. Are you going to go through all that?
We'll see.
Okay.
I might just post. I might
that's
PM
probably
the
a good
people
idea.
who asked.
Great idea.
Greater detail. I typically go into way too much detail on these questions.
Yes.
So I'll try to keep it brief for everyone else watching, and I'll send the rest of the details to the people who asked.
So, all right, Carol Smith, start the ball rolling. Thank you. Hopefully there's more people that are jumping in. But let's go into the first question. The first question is, okay, they apologize, it won't be there. I've really enjoyed the challenge. Oh, sorry, that's the question with the triple question mark. Do you have a vegan substitute for the Supercharged Gut Loving Blend?
We're on it. So not currently, no. But as you know, that there in the Gut Loving Blend, there's already a whole bunch of foods in there that serve to support a robust and thriving microbiome in the gut. Mm-hmm. But there are 2 ingredients in there that are not vegan. We got the bone broth powder and the gelatin powder.
It's a chicken bone broth.
Yeah. So what we've been doing as a team is doing some pretty hefty research into some alternatives. I've reached out to a whole bunch of vegan partners that we have to ask their advice. I've spoken to, quite a few people, got the team researching pretty hard. So what we've come up with is there's actually no, if you see like a vegan collagen on the market, there's actually no such thing as a vegan collagen, but it's a blend of foods that can promote your body to create collagen by itself. So there's a whole bunch of foods that do those things, namely alfalfa. Alfalfa is which one was that? Just to make sure I've got this right. Which amino acid does alfalfa do? So basically, we're experimenting with all sorts of things. Like we want to sprout alfalfa right here in the warehouse, dehydrate it at a low temperature, and then crush it into a powder to put into these blends so that we know they're fresh, we know the process they've been through, because we're a bit of a stickler for those types of things. And so that alfalfa, for example, promotes it's good for proline. Proline's one of the amino acids in collagen, basically. And so alfalfa serves to support that. Then you've got things like, it might scare you off, but seaweed, right? So Carly enjoys a smoothie with seaweed in it. I myself are yet to try it, but it's on my list for next week to experiment with adding a bit of Doll's Flakes into the smoothie, because the Doll's Flakes is rich in glycine, which is the biggest amino acid that's prevalent in collagen.
Yes, Kaya.
Ah, Kaya made it on. So anyway, there's lots of these foods that can act in a similar way in the body to what the animal product works in. So I'm actually really excited. I'm not vegan, but I am a wannabe wishful vegan. Like I would very happily eat a vegan lifestyle, but I just find it really hard with the kids and other people in the family who don't particularly want to eat that way. And so I can really appreciate someone wanting a vegan gut-loving smoothie. So I'm looking forward to finalizing all this and getting it to you. There's quite a process that we go through to do this. We have to speak to our naturopath and nutritionist partners that help sort of, give the approval on all of these. We also need to speak to our expert panel. There's a lot of testing, a lot of developing of like those, sprouting alfalfa and turning it into a powder. There's lots of work that goes on behind the scenes, but I personally hope, and I haven't sort of clarified this with Jordan yet, but I hope that we'd be able to have something to you by February.
Yeah, no promise on the dates though.
So that's that. Lucy has a question.
Lucy Pollard says, I have had hepatitis for 5 years. Any recommendations to help? Sorry to hear, Lucy.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, Lucy. It can be a big impact on life, I know. And I just want to say that I'm not a health professional. And so obviously I'm sure you've already gone to see your doctor and you've seen your health professionals. You've been suffering from this for 5 years. So I'm sure that you've been down that track, but I just want to make sure you know that I'm actually not a doctor, but I love to learn and would be very happy to pass on some things related to food that might be able to support. So
hang on a sec. There's like 7 pages here. We're not going to cover them all. We're going to synthesize a few key points.
Okay, key points. Here we go. Lucy, I'm going to send you this information because I actually spent a long time clarifying some things and learned some new things. And so I'm going to send that to you. But in a nutshell, there's no particular diet that those with hepatitis need to follow. There's no set regime. There's no foods that you should not have except for those that everyone needs to sort of avoid. I think particularly things like alcohol, because hepatitis affects the liver. So we want to make sure that we're protecting our liver and nurturing our liver. So we protect it by not putting in things like alcohol, like trans fats, high sugars, those types of things. As with anyone, we want to avoid those things. And the things that we do want to put in there are things that our liver loves. So, things like we spoke about in the Detoxify blend, those types of foods and the fruits and vegetables that go along with that are going to be really beneficial for you to have on a regular basis. And so those who suffer from hepatitis also are more prone to developing things like diabetes. And so we need to make sure that you're sort of being mindful to keep your weight in a healthy level, having lots of fiber, having lots of protein, because the protein actually particularly helps with those with hepatitis. You don't want to have too much, but you do want to make sure that you're having regular amounts of protein across your day. And also, if you've had hepatitis for 5 years, your liver is you probably will know this from all the testing that you've likely done, but your liver may at this stage be at a point where it's got some scarring. And so when it has that scarring, it can't store much glycogen because the scar tissue is taking up that space. And we know that the liver converts glycogen into energy. And so if the scar tissue is taking up all that space, that's one of the reasons that those with hepatitis are so fatigued all the time. And so you want to have small, regular meals, making sure that you've got carbs in each of those servings so that your liver can then keep on generating that energy for you. Is that?
Yeah, leave it there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do love to learn and talk about how food serves our body. And so, Lucy, I'm going to send you a whole lot more information.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more. But yeah, that's the 2 questions we had.
Hey, Kim. Hey, Leah.
Hey, guys. We haven't had any other questions pop up in our comment section, so we're going to cut it short today. So you guys, don't have to hear any more of our rambling. But we have the winner of the full suite of 5 Supercharged Smoothie whole food blends to boost your nutrition. And I know the number because I just saw her write it down. But we have no one essentially that guessed the right number. But the closest. The closest, yes, that's what I was going to say.
Sorry.
That's right. The closest to...
Okay.
You can expose. Okay, so that's 16 for those who can't see that. 16, and Angela had guessed Leaf, right? Has guessed 18. Oh, Kim, yes, she did miss
sorry,
it.
Kim.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Angela with the guess of 18. She said that there was so much that she learned, how much you can put in a smoothie that is so healthy and good for you and tastes good too. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
Maximize nutrition and keeping the flavor awesome. So, yeah. So
Tracy said, I love that you can have a full meal in a cup. Cauliflower in a smoothie,
yes.
Mind blown, yes. I actually had I had a detox smoothie this morning, and I'm always looking for new base recipes. I probably won't recommend this one. It tasted fine, but it wasn't amazing. But I put in kale. I just froze a whole bunch of kale in the fridge. So I did kale, sweet potato, cauliflower. And then there was also another serve of veggies in the blend, right, in that greens powder. So it was 4 serves of veggies in 1 cup. Amazing.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, Yahoo, Angela. You're welcome, mate. Make sure you reach out to hello@thewholefoodcollective.com.au and let us know that you won, and send us your address. Let us know whether you want the standard Supercharged Smoothie suite or the gluten-free suite, and we will post them out to you. If you are looking at doing an order, we'll just combine them together. Just let us know in the order comments.
And if you are vegan, then you can choose an alternate 5th blend if you don't want the gut-loving one.
Yeah. So that is us for the live. We really appreciate you guys coming and visit. We hope that we've answered some of the extra questions. We've given you some extra tips so you get more value out of this Supercharged Smoothie Challenge. As we said at the beginning, we really hope that these small steps you've taken this last week will continue, and that you will sustainably convert you and your household to more of the incredibly nutritious food that is available to us, freely available, and you can avoid a lot of the rubbish that has been pumped into food for a long time, and everything is going to be good.
We really appreciate you being with us for this whole week. You know, especially this time of year, we have definitely felt the craziness of December already creeping in the last couple of weeks, especially with the kids finishing off school, and you guys might be in the same boat. So if you have missed some videos, heaven forbid, we know life can get crazy. Tomorrow, I'm going to send you a link to a binge watch page that's going to be available all the way up until Tuesday midnight, that you can catch up on videos.
Or rewatch again if you want a refresher.
And so Tuesday midnight is when the savings code will expire, and we'll archive the group. We're going to invite you over to our main Facebook group, just simply called Supercharged Smoothies. And that is the place where all the graduates hang out and keep on asking smoothie questions. And we can, we always do updates to the ebook and updates for new base recipes and all sorts of stuff and promotions in that group. So I'll email that to you. So just make sure you come and join us over there. So it's not goodbye right now.
Nope. And I'm just posting now in the comments, if you want to get in early, there's the savings code, SS extra 10%, and that is to be inputted on checkout on thewholefoodcollective.com.au. And
so that's across all blends, all ingredients, and all equipment as well.
Yeah.
Tumblers, straws, ice cream molds,
so
all that jazz.
Carol just asked where we get the ebook. We're going to, once this is finished, there's an email going out at 2 p.m. Did you say?
Yeah, 2 o'clock. So in 1 hour, there's an automated email that will go out. Just gives me some time to update the replay of this live.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that link in, and then it will send out to you.
Yeah. You get an email to download the ebook. It is jam-packed full of awesomeness. All the content we covered will be there in written form, Plus, you can have a whole bunch of variations for the smoothie bases and smoothie flavors that we covered, the 5 that we covered this week.
And if you're choosing to freestyle your own blends, then it's going to give you lots of inspiration in there to remind you about which foods are best for which targeted health goal you have. You know, if you're looking at good fats, which foods fall into that category, all that stuff. So make sure you have a good look through.
Excellent resource. Keep it on hand and reference it whenever you like. Also, just a plug for our Christmas,
I think you have
Christmas
to plug
blends. These are insane. Our roasted maple nut mix. So good. It's a big jar. It's 500 grams of incredible nuts roasted in maple syrup and coconut oil. Super delicious. Jump on. They're going quick.
I've just seen that for the first time. The directions. 1, open and eat.
What about that?
Because the other blends we've got for Christmas is like gingerbread mix and a bliss ball mix, and so there's directions, but this one is just open and eat. I haven't seen that before.
That's a great direction. Anyway, we are really grateful that you've participated. We really hope you've got a lot out of it, and we want to encourage you to continually take in those small steps and celebrate in your own space the little wins, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of obstacles, a lot of opposition to you making great choices for your health. Make sure you're celebrating the awesome things you do, even if it's just a little bit of blend, a little bit extra chia, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's all positive for your nutritional ongoing. So keep working towards it. Keep pushing hard. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just make sure you keep doing it, because that's when you'll see results, is when you consistently apply these awesome foods in your life.
And it won't take long to feel the difference in your body. We often get messages through from people saying, oh my goodness, I've had the blends 4 days in a row. I've had these smoothies for 4 days in a row and I'm feeling amazing. Their energy is up. They're feling positive and they've got it. Their demeanor changes. That's the word I was looking for. And so if you give it a go, even if you're freestyling, even if you're not getting the balance like perfect, you're still going to benefit. So just make progress, even if it's imperfect progress. Just do take some action and just keep going. Be patient and persistent with your efforts, with both yourself and your family, and you will reap the rewards.
And we'd love to hear about your progress, your successes, your wins, your challenges. We always love that feedback. So please let us know as you go through your journey. But for today, we're done now. We'll let you guys go. Thank you for participating. Congratulations again to Lethal Angela. I'm pretty sure it's Angela.
I'm pretty sure it's Angela.
And we will catch you guys later. You get some more emails over the next few days to remind you about some of these things we've covered. And we will catch you maybe in the next challenge. We've got new stuff happening in the new year. We hope you stick around.
Oh, yeah, there's a fiber challenge with the next. Oh, maybe not the next one. In January sometime.
I think it should be the next one.
We're going to run a fiber challenge, and that's a really great challenge that we get lots of good feedback about. So, and
we've got a new challenge coming up too, which will be fun.
Yeah, brand new one we're developing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So we love you guys. Thanks for participating. We'll catch you next time.
Merry Christmas.
Enjoy. Happy eating.
See you guys.
See you later.